the company I work for, who sponsors the show sometimes, is having a corporate event. When I say corporate, it's a startup, 30 people, very cool actors, comedians.
Huge budget.
A pretty decent budget, to be honest. So name your price.
What is the startup?
This is great. This is all in YouTube, being live right now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's good to do a
Well, my
negotiation.
quote is blur the mouth.
All right. Okay. You can take corner. I'll take this corner.
Okay, great.
We ready? We're ready to go.
For all the buckles and probably messing with the audio.
No, it's okay. We don't give a shit.
As long as the YouTube viewers saw it for a second, they saw it and they're like, oh, cool jacket. And now we take it.
Is the Zoom going?
No. I'll start now.
We got enough on the Zoom?
Yeah, there's 25 hours left.
Oh, that's enough. Can you stay for 25 hours?
I've got a really good bit at hour 26 that I was going to bust out.
We ready? We'll need those doors closed. That's really loud. What's going on? Did they just let a show out? Or is it just like two loud people out there?
No, I think they're getting ready to start a show.
Oh. All right. We're ready? Got it? Now you're probably only want to change to 2 camera angles instead of 3.
I did.
Okay, perfect. Way to go. Damien's got it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Bingle Show. I'm your host, Eddie Ifft. I am here tonight. We got the whole Bingle crew here. Well, not the whole. We don't have Tegan. We've got, you're sad. Rachel's sad about that. The Tegan's not around. We have Damien doing video and audio. And it's very interesting. Hopefully it's working. If you're going to our YouTube or our Patreon page, eddieift.com, or no, patreon.com/eddieift, or you can find it on eddieift.com, and you give to the Patreon, you get to watch the video versions, but we're always on iTunes. We've got a great guest tonight, really, really funny magician. That's weird. That because you don't hear, hey, he's a really mysterious comedian. But my buddy, you might have seen his Netflix. Netflix, everybody. What other magician is on Netflix? No David Copperfield. Maybe, what's his name?
Blaine.
Blaine's probably been
He's
on
cool.
there. Yeah, he's cool, but you're taking
He's
his...
cool.
I think you're the new young hot dude taking his shit. So David Blaine, see ya. We got Justin Willman, who used to be formerly known as Just Incredible.
Oh, man, I was like, wow, Eddie's ramping up. It's such a cool, solid intro, and then he throws
I
in
love
the Just
that.
Incredible.
I thought that was such a cool name.
It was a cool name.
It was so fucking cool. It was like, when I saw you switched, I was like, oh, well, we'll get to that. Anyways, thanks for listening to the show. Great episode. We're going to get to Just Incredible, Justin Willman. Comedy for Humans. Is that right?
Magic for
Magic for Humans.
Magic for Humans.
Comedy. Magic for Humans. And I want to talk all about it and many, many other things. We've known each other for a long time. But before that, we have to talk about our sponsor, which we don't have one. So go buy our merch. Go buy Bingle shirts, Bingle hats, the new Bingle hats. They're available now at eddieift.com. And you can always use the Amazon click-through. And there's all kinds of other things. We will have new sponsors. I've just been shirking some duties. And also my tour. I am all over the fucking world. I have so many dates. Go to eddieift.com/tour. This is 3 weeks from now. This is airing.
On the 30th.
Yeah. So right now I'm headed to Spokane, Washington. If you want to see me there, I'll be at the Spokane Comedy Club. And then the week after that, I believe I'm at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas. Maybe I'm off that week, and then the next week I'm at the Comedy Cellar. I don't know, but all my dates are available. Go look at them. Look at them. Just look at them, and then buy tickets and come out. But tonight we're going to get the show started because we're here at the Hollywood Improv, and it's very loud, but we're going to have a fun show. And
It's called mirroring.
Maybe we'll get some magic.
This is already pretty magical.
Yes.
How did I know how you were going to sit?
That's
and I
true.
predicted it.
That's true. How did I know you were going to wear tight pants?
Oh, you do.
I predicted
yeah,
that.
You've known me for
I
a while.
predicted that. I think you've always been into the skinny jeans for like longer than anyone.
When I look back, I look at them and I'm like, oh, they weren't that skinny, but we thought they were skinny at the time. It's because we were just recently out of the Jenko jeans.
Yeah, remember
fad.
when we went from like, well, I've always been kind of a straight. These are considered straight.
Those are great
leg.
jeans. Those are great. And those are skinny.
They are skinny,
They're
but
skinny.
maybe it's just I have fat legs.
Let's just say they're skinny jeans.
Big quads.
Yeah.
Big quads. So when Now I know you were. I didn't mean to upset you by saying
didn't
Justin
upset me.
Credible. When did you switch?
We're on a bus, by the way. How
know.
fun is this?
I know,
This is
it's-
really fun. The
It is
Bingle
fun.
bus.
When did you switch?
I switched 8 years ago.
Probably the best thing you ever did, right?
It was a necessary evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard though to rip the Band-Aid off of your identity that you've had forever.
But
Have you ever
were
had
like,
to do that?
I've known you since when I first came out to LA to do pilot seasons.
Yeah.
I came out here. Is something wrong?
Low battery.
Oh shit.
20%.
Oh, it's 20%. We're good. So I came out.
And Justin, low energy.
Yeah.
If you could amp it up
Can
a
you
little bit,
pick it up a
low
bit?
energy.
I came out here to do pilot season years and years ago, and I would go hang out with like my buddies because it was hard to get spots at the Improv and the Comedy Store and the Laugh Factory, like regular spots. So we would have to go do like shitty open mics in like the Valley, and these would be like shitty. There'd be like 4 people in the audience, but it'd be all really good performers. Like I remember Gary Goldman being there with us, and Joe Matarese, or whoever was here. But you and Dan
Kevin
Levy-
Hart would drop in.
Yeah, that's
on our
true.
show
Kevin Hart
back then at the Ha Ha Cafe.
Yes. So you would come with Dan Levy because you guys were like, weren't you
We
like
were
roommates?
Yep.
And Eric Hutchinson, wasn't
Yeah.
he like your buddy
yeah,
from
yeah,
college?
yeah,
too?
exactly.
That school puts out some really successful people.
That was a good vintage.
Was
we
it
had.
was it just you guys,
Well,
or is it always?
we were living at the Oakwoods, and this
Right.
was like it's all second semester seniors who were out there.
the
like,
Oakwoods is
interning.
where people can like temporary housing out in LA,
Yeah.
so you get a lot of like actors and people trying
like
to make it.
Yeah, furnished condos, but
Yeah.
it's kind of
I stayed there a
that,
little bit.
like nice, but it'll
Yeah.
pass. Yeah, lots of child actor pilot season.
Yeah.
moms and
Yeah.
children. who were
So
there
it
a
was
lot.
you.
So it was me, Dan Levy, Eric Hutchinson, Eliza came out of Emerson a couple years later. Joe Mandy came out a couple years
Oh, wow,
later.
both of them too.
Todd Strauss-Schulson was my year. He was a great director. He directed a bunch of really funny movies, none of which I can name right off the top of my head right now. But you probably met him in the same class.
I remember
we
when
were
Dan-
banging it out. We were figuring
But
it out.
I remember you from the open mics. Eric Hutchinson, who's a singer, really good music. I love his stuff. I remember one night Dan called me and he's like, "Hey man, my buddy's playing at the Hotel Cafe. Can you come watch him? He's a singer-songwriter." And I go, he goes, "He's really good." And I go, "Is he really good? Like you say, you're really good at comedy?" Because then I don't want to go.
Burn.
I was just fucking with Dan.
Burn.
And Dan goes, "No, he's really good, man. You got to come see." So I went, and there were literally 5 of us in the audience.
Yeah.
And I was like, "This guy's amazing."
He was incredible, right?
Yeah, I was like,
and
how,
he still is incredible.
How are there only 5 people here to see him? So I talked to him afterwards, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And then I hooked him up with a college agent, and I think he owes his career to me.
Who were you? Colleges. Remember that? Those
Yeah.
were good times.
I ran into you at a college.
We did.
Yeah.
That's probably 8 years since I saw you. When was that?
It
What
might
college
have been
was
longer
it?
than that.
I remember your joke about growing up with a bunch of sisters.
Yeah.
And the
was a big mainstay
tampon
back then.
tampon
Yeah,
wrappers
yeah, they
should
had
have
tampon.
warnings that say "Run," because you'd see them all over the house, right?
Those were the big college winners.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that.
I saw you in the hallway at we were like in Allentown, Pennsylvania or something.
Oh wow, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I remember that we were across the street from an amusement park.
Wow. Okay. Dorney Park, maybe. Is that
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
How do you remember that?
Living here in Allentown, Billy Joel song. too.
Where'd you grow up?
St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh wow. So did
And
you?
you've been through St. Louis. I think
Yeah, a
you've
lot.
done Helium a couple times.
No, I do Funny Bone.
Oh, Funny Bone. Oh,
Yeah.
old school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do the Funny Bone. I'm an old school kind of guy.
I like it. I mean, look at the bus.
Funny enough, my old manager.
Am I not supposed to talk about the bus?
No,
Do
it's
people
okay.
not know we're on a bus?
They know
I
we're
feel
on a
like
bus.
it's like, yeah, we get it. Don't talk about the bus.
Yeah,
But
we-
yeah,
there's
we're on a
like
great
4
bus. It's a
things-
beautiful bus, and it's
There's 4 things we don't
patina.
talk about. My sidekick who's not here, how we met, the dead squirrel on the wall, and these pictures.
The sidekick who's not here.
Um,
Or your T-Mobile sidekick. I can't tell if it's what's on the couch over there. My sidekick is not here.
wait, so St. Louis,
St. Louis, Missouri.
My old manager is the manager of Helium.
Your old.
My old manager
Really?
from out here in Hollywood
Wow.
moved home
To St. Louis.
to raise his kids because he didn't want the Hollywood thing.
Wow.
And John Elliott, great guy.
And that's why you refused to work with him.
Amazing guy. No, he
Falling out.
He got to me afterwards. He said, "Hey, we'd love to, why don't you come do Helium?" And I said, "These guys, Came and got
You
me.
said I like the smell of cigarette smoke from the 80s.
There is a lot of that
It's
there,
a
isn't
stinky
there?
club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it really is.
And they haven't smoked in there for 10 years, and you walk out smelling.
Meanwhile, the bar next door, have you ever been to that bar?
I'm sure have.
It's a sports bar. It's new.
Uh-huh.
It's the nicest bar I've ever been in.
Really?
Oh, my God. Whoever decorated it, I'm like, I want to make a comedy club, and I want you to decorate it because it's gorgeous.
Wow.
It would make the best comedy club.
Really?
Yeah, really. I forget. It's some sports bar.
Funny Bone would make an amazing sports bar.
Funny Bone.
They should just
let
Freaky
them
Friday
come in.
themselves.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
It's the second
Just
week
for
in a
a
row,
day.
Freaky Friday. We talked about that last week.
Freaky.
I can smell the weed. Can you smell it?
Oh, my vape's going off in my pocket, I guess. Then, if that's why.
That would
no.
be funny. I'd expect you to be like, no,
No.
but look.
But smoke machine.
As a comedian, everyone's like, tell me a joke. You've got to do your magic all the time.
Yes.
And is that
Show me a trick.
so annoying?
It's annoying to you to have to be funny when you land at 7 a.m. in an Uber, right?
Yeah.
Because we don't do that to every occupation, right? What do? I'm a chef. Whip something up for me right now. They don't.
But
they
if
don't
I were
say
you,
that.
I would say stuff like, well, I'm an illusionist. And then I would do this one that I heard my friend Dave Johns, who's a British comedian who was in a really big movie. I forget the name again.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really funny guy, though. He was at Edinburgh, and they had the cast of The Simpsons there. And he went up to, not Hank Azaria, I guess the guy who did Homer. Who does Dan Castanella? Is that right?
That sounds right.
I think Dan Castanella plays Homer, and he went up to him and he's like, "Oh man, I'm such a big fan." Blah blah blah. And Dave was like almost nominated for an Academy Award, but in this or 2 years ago for this film he did, and he went up to the guy. He's like, "I'm a huge fan. Please, please, please do Homer for me." And the guy goes, "Oh, often I get asked to do this." He's like, "Just do it, please do Homer." And he goes, "All right." He's like, "But I got to get into character, because when I'm in the booth." He goes, "So look, close your eyes. You got to listen. Imagine Homer." And he goes, "All right." And he's like, I'm sitting there listening. And he doesn't say anything. He goes, I open my eyes and he's gone. And
it's hilarious.
that's what you should do to people.
That's hilarious.
Go, all right, listen, I'm going to do this trick. It's a famous disappearing trick, but I have to prepare for it. Here's the thing. Close your eye, and then you just fucking run away.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and then you don't have to do it.
How much do I have to pay you to not put this episode up so no one knows that I've stolen that from Dan Castanella? He really did that.
Apparently,
That's brilliant.
Dave Johns told
Did
me
he
that.
enjoy it? Did Dave
Oh,
appreciate
Dave's
that?
a comedian. He thought it was
he like
amazing.
that's the best thing ever?
I
It'd be
love
great
him.
though if you open your eyes and he's gone, but then in the distance you just hear dope, just that. As if Homer tripped while running away.
Or on his phone, he just gets the text.
Oh man, that's brilliant.
Davey's great. Your show, I watched your Netflix special. I'm very proud of you, by the way.
Thanks,
I'm very
Eddie.
happy
Thank
for
you, man.
And because you've had success along the way. You became like Ellen's magician. I would turn on Ellen, and I'm like, oh my God, there's Justin. What the
Again.
holy shit? And then what was it? Cake Wars?
Cupcake Wars.
Cupcake Wars.
Yeah.
And that was. Did you become the host of
I
that?
became Cupcake Wars' host.
Oh, that's incredible.
But
was that through you were doing what's her name show?
I was doing Rachel Ray.
Rachel
show.
Ray's.
Yeah.
Rachel Ray.
I was a Rachel Ray regular.
Okay.
And she cooks.
Yeah.
So I think people started to assume that I cooked because I was on her show a lot.
But you didn't cook.
Don't cook. So when this
she
audition,
just liked your magic.
she just liked the magic, and you know how you get hosting auditions that are for more niche things. You're like, I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
this.
Oh yeah, it's happened to me a lot.
But I guess my agent was like, no, he's watched Rachel Ray cook. He knows food. And
so you went in kind of like with
I
the,
kind of just acted like, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. I know what fondant is.
I don't. I have no idea.
It's a French word for you're not supposed to eat that part.
Oh, I should learn that.
You should learn that. It's the waxy stuff they coat the cake with.
Oh, okay. Because I got a call one time. They said, hey, they want you to test for Best Damn Sports Show. And I went, why? And they went, oh, you did a sports radio show. And I go, yeah, but the joke was that I didn't know about sports. And it was Jimmy Kimmel who recommended me for the job. And I said, Jimmy, I don't really know about sports. He goes, don't tell them that. He goes, just go on and be funny. And I was like, all right. So they flew me out to L.A. and then I was going to take over for Tom Arnold. And then Tom Arnold renegotiated his contract and they sent me right back. But I was a little nervous for the test, because I used to get yelled at for not knowing sports. And then Kevin and Bean had me come in to be their sports host. And I'm like, can we stop this reputation of me being a sports guy? Because I don't fucking know shit. Like, I can't remember the last time I watched the Super Bowl. That's the last football game I watched.
So all you have to do is just reference that a lot.
I know.
Hey, can we talk again about Lady Gaga? Or something. Just looping it back.
Even that. So you went from Ellen to Rachel Ray?
Rachel Ray
to Ellen.
To Cupcake Wars to Ellen.
Okay.
To
and you probably had
now.
some videos that went viral, that went crazy, probably.
I did. Let's see. Well, oddly enough, it wasn't until I got engaged and was getting married to my wife that we made a drunk history parody video about how we met. That was the first thing that went really, really viral, which was just my buddy who's a great director, different director, made a drunk history spoof that the internet loves.
Is it on your YouTube page?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, Justin and Jill's drunk history, and then she levitated me in our wedding for our first dance, and then that video went
yeah, that would be crazy,
very viral.
Yeah.
So it's odd that love is what
wedding or marriage. You're married.
Marriage. Yeah, I've been married 3 years. My wife's pregnant right now.
Oh, congratulations!
Right now, while we speak.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Mine could be 2. Who knows?
It's fun.
Yeah, we have.
Do you
one.
have kids?
Yeah, we have one.
How old?
She is 3.5. She's a monster.
Best thing that's ever happened to you. Your life's
it's
never
great.
been the same.
In fact, I was
It's gonna be
watching
fantastic.
your thing, and I was like, I think I could show her this. I think I could show her your.
You
special.
could.
Yeah.
I think episode 6 is maybe when it gets a little risque in the,
How many episodes did you do total?
6.
She'll want to watch number 6.
Yeah.
She called a guy a douchebag last week. She's 3.5.
That's how the episode closes.
We were driving
So
up the
she'll love it.
canyon, and there were these guys parked their Lamborghinis. These fucking idiots.
Where does she get it?
They
I
caused
really don't know where she
traffic.
gets it.
They caused traffic to take photos of their Lamborghinis. I mean,
Oh no,
it's
their own cars.
So rude. And I'm mad. She's mad. She wants to get home and party. And we're coming up the canyon, and I go, oh, this is what's causing all the traffic. And I hear her in the back go, douchebags. And I was like, that's my daughter.
From the car seat.
Yeah, I was so proud. I went home and told my wife.
Wow.
And she's like, that's your fault.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would be very proud.
She said it so contextually perfect. She just went, douchebag.
And she doesn't throw it around. It's not something that's like, oh, she says it all the time, but then it made sense.
She didn't even want to laugh. She just wanted to let it out that she was like, these guys are fucking idiots. And I was like, oh, good, Izzy. No,
Wow.
you know what you're doing.
That's good. You raised her right.
Yeah. I haven't heard, she hasn't said any other bad words. She says piss off every once in a while. And I think I'm blaming you, my friend Simon, because her one friend, his father is British.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm having a feeling that's where that's coming from.
Interesting.
She'll go, piss off. And we're like, you can't say that. Stop saying that.
So she picks it up from the Brits and the Aussies,
She says cunt a lot.
You can't.
I mean, but I don't count that as a swear word.
No.
That's not
It's
a
an
bad word.
exclamation.
Yeah. So I'm not going to ask you to do any tricks on here at all. I just wanted to chat with you. It's really
I'm not
going to
ask you to be funny either.
I'm not.
To
I
tell a
can't.
joke.
I don't know how to do it anymore.
Am I allowed to cross my legs?
You can do whatever
Okay.
you. This bus, the reason for it is so you can do any.
I'm intimidated by how nice it is, though. That's
Oh,
the
we
thing.
should do a
If
video.
it was really shitty, I would feel really comfortable inside. But it's really nice, and then everything was done well, and this is.
Well, that
this
was
is
the original.
all-
The original plan was to get a really shitty one, keep it shitty, and then use all the money to fund it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were like, they said, oh, they might want to make a TV show, and we were like, oh, okay. So we started, and then we started getting into development. And they started, oh, they're gonna make the show, and blah blah blah. And so we were putting more money into it, and more. When I was like, I kept saying to my manager, won't they spend the money? And he's like, no, let's just make it look perfect. And then the
Typical
show
network.
didn't get picked up,
Ugh.
and we went.
You're like, God damn it! Now we have this nice bus.
I mean, this is LED lighting that is that they use on film sets.
I know it's nice. It is decorative, ornamental, and practical.
Yeah, and I think afterwards
Right?
we could probably do.
Probably just.
Could we,
I could say two of those things.
Could we levitate you through the emergency exit?
Well, I was asked if I could vanish the bus, and I said, not impromptu.
Who asked? Rachel? Did you ask her?
No,
Damien
asked
to
me
vanish the
outside,
bus.
and I said, I not impromptu. I'd need 12 hours, but I could figure something out.
production crew. I mean,
just something.
Copperfield got rid of the Statue of Liberty. So
He did.
Yeah.
It's hard to top that. That's a pretty great trick.
does it bother you that people can go on YouTube and try to break down your tricks?
Did you try to? How would you know that if you didn't try to do that, Eddie?
I only do it to Blaine.
No, I think that's fine. I think that's great. I think that, ironically, The Masked Magician is a show that inspired a lot of people of a younger era to become magicians. Go figure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, comedy's been broken down. It used to seem like magic. The way people thought comedians just got up on stage and just spewed this shit, and then every comedian started doing, behind the curtain and telling how they wrote the joke, how they did, and everyone in the world's like, no, I can do this.
Right.
This is easy.
Or they're like, I have a video of him doing the exact same words the night before.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's exact.
That's how I got into it.
I was making it up.
I saw Greg Rogel twice.
Uh-huh.
First time I saw him, I'm like, this guy's a genius. And the second time I saw him, I'm like, I'm going to do this. And like, you just write this down, memorize it, say it again. Because I was like, how's he saying this so like off the top of his head? And then
the next night you're probably like, okay, well, how does he remember all those words?
Yeah, there was a little bit of that when I started. Didn't you have that where you were like, so I have to memorize all of this?
Yeah, when I started out, I was never not doing a trick while I was also maybe being funny. So for me, it was easier to remember, oh yeah, I have something funny to say here at this point and this point and this point, versus when you're just like, I've got 60 minutes of my mouth. It's probably easier to forget your words.
When you started, did you start comedian, magician, or both together?
Oh, magician.
You were,
but I love that you asked that question. That
because you.
I've been trying to cover up the fact that I'm just a magician.
But
for
you kind of got your start. You were doing comedy clubs a lot. Like
yeah. I owe Dan Levy, I think, credit for that because we were roommates in Boston. I maybe went up like at the Comedy Vault or whatever, some random
Dick Doherty's
Comedy Vault here and there. But when we moved to LA together, he's going up to an open mic. So he's like, "Well, come with me." So but normally for a magician, it's like, "Oh shit, okay, I've got to." How do I walk on stage with all my stuff and then walk off stage with all my stuff, So he was just like, I have less stuff. Don't have so much stuff. Put your stuff in your pockets and shut up and coming out here. And also most magicians, I think, develop an act and then do that same act forever. And that's just kind of like the mindset of a magician is to hone and polish the same material versus, comedy. It's like, I'll do that joke till it's not fun anymore.
Yeah, you hone it and then every year you go, oh, I'm going to write a whole new set. And you go through a nightmare like I'm going through right now.
Tonight you're doing that tampon warning
joke.
Yeah.
It's funny. I just pulled out all my old. I've got 7 albums, and I just pulled out the earliest.
7 hours.
Yeah,
crazy.
Well, I mean, I've got more than that. I've been doing it 23 years. I've probably got about. I think I've figured I've got about 16 hours.
Wow.
Of comedy.
Wow.
But
But 22 hours of material. 16 hours of comedy that you put out.
Exactly. There's a lot of just
boy,
long dramatic pauses.
My insults are very complicated to follow.
I'm sensitive. I cry.
No. That's in a massive body of work.
But
that's
the
exciting.
first one has that joke on it.
Really?
And I just had them all digitized, and I sell them at my shows now. And people are like, well, which one should I get? And they always like point to that one. I'm like, I don't know if you want that one. I don't
know if you're ready for that.
If you want to if you really like me and you just want to see how bad I actually was, get that one.
And I think people do, it's like why you leave up old YouTube videos that I cringe at, but people are like, leave it up. And people find it, and once they already like you, they kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
They kind of they see through the crap.
And it's nice to see the growth. When I got it, I had to listen to it, and I hate listening or watching myself more than anything in the world.
Yeah.
And I listened to it, and it's funny. The album's, I think it's terrible, but there's a few gems in there that I was like, I should probably do that again. That's a good.
What was a gem you heard?
I forget, but there was a joke. I think it's on that album about how this shows you how old it is. 9/11 had just happened, and I said. It's the only time in my life I've become patriotic. Like, when I saw those towers go down, I was mad. I was like, I'm going to join the military. I'm going to Afghanistan. I'm going to kill Osama bin Laden. I even went to the gym, and I started training. I got on the treadmill, and I started running. And I was like, I'm going to kill you, Osama. I'm coming to get you. But then started going on that hill portion of the treadmill, and it went too fast, and I had to step to the sides. And I was like, I guess worldwide dominance of Islam's not going to be that bad. At least women won't be driving anymore. And I was like, I could fit that into another joke. Like, cut it in half, take off, like, the back part of it. And I do that with jokes all the time, where I'll cut 2 jokes and put originally one with an... And people are like, how'd that happen? I'm like, I don't fucking know. That good joke just came from 2 bad jokes.
It's you salvaged it for parts.
Yeah, really. That's kind of what happens.
We got a good carburetor here.
And that does, I guess it's like music. You'll hear albums, you'll hear a song, and you'll be like, hey, that kind of chord progression, that's on a song that they did 6 years ago, and they tweaked that. I'm sure you do it with magic, where you change up stuff.
Absolutely you do.
You don't do the bowling ball anymore, though, do you?
I don't.
I love that.
I don't. But I will say, I did Ellen recently, and I was writing this bit about how when my wife was pregnant, she was 26 weeks, actually 23 weeks at the time, about how every week you hear a different fruit or vegetable that your baby is the same size as.
Yeah.
There's the apps. We got a wall calendar every week. It's like, oh, the baby's a coconut.
Yeah.
And the calendar also lets you know what fruit you're going to feel very weird eating that week subsequently. So I had this calendar on Ellen, and I showed the coconut week, and I flipped the cover, and I squeezed it, and out fell a coconut. So it was a bowling ball trick, exactly like you were just talking about. A trick that was like, I kind of played it out. I don't need to travel with a bowling ball. And why the fuck do I have a bowling ball? Anyway, I'm not bowling.
We just loved it because as comics, we take nothing with us. It's so low maintenance. We're kind of lazy pieces of shit. And the fact that you had to, and we also were backstage, and we got to see how you did it.
Yes.
So it was fun for us.
Because then you watch their faces, and you're like, these fucking idiots. They don't even know that the bowling ball's right here the whole time.
Yeah, and it was so fun because I was like behind the scenes. I'm like, I know where
Wait for it.
is.
3, 2, 1. Suckers. Look at those suckers.
It was so much fun. I remember that one so
Because the comics are like, all right, I guess if he's just traveling with a pad of paper, it's not that bad. Oh wait, no, he travels with a bowling ball too. Yeah.
I messaged Dan when your Netflix special came out, and Dan put a post up like, "This is my good friend, blah blah blah." And I think I messaged. I go, "Does he do the bowling ball trick?"
That's so funny.
'Cause that was my favorite. I would watch it. I'm like, "Is he gonna do the bowling ball? Please do the bowling ball."
It's a good trick. It's a damn good trick. It's one of the good tricks. So that's very similar, I think, to taking a joke. You're like, man, I had this premise or some sort of a flow that was really clever, but I could just swap out the whatever was topical at the time and make it relevant. Yeah.
So when's your wife due?
January.
You're very excited, it seems.
I'm very excited.
You should be.
I'm very excited.
The first year's hard.
It's going to be a boy. And
the rest of your life's going to be hard.
Rest of the life's going to be hard.
Get ready to have the
I'm
shit
ready.
kicked out of you.
I'm ready. I'm ready to be tired for a reason.
I was sitting like this the other day at my house, and my daughter came running and just jumped and sat on my legs as hard as she could. Like, she could have just broken both my legs. I did it to a kid in high school on a school bus. Weirdly enough, he was sitting. It was closer than this, and his name we called him Goober, and I did that. I bounced on his legs and dislocated both his knees, and my daughter. It was like karma. I saw it coming though, and I got to like brace and like flex so that they didn't go through. But like, she'll in the morning I'll be sleeping and just decide to climb up on the bed and like
punch you in the nuts,
like flying elbow right into the head. I've been punched in the. I had a talk with my wife yesterday. I said, you're gonna have to talk to our daughter about penises and tell her to stop like punching them and just be delicate around
and then
them.
You have to talk to her about vaginas and explain to her what her period's going to be like. Interesting role reversal.
It's so creepy. Like, she comes out and she'll be like totally naked and she'll be like, nudie, you can see my booty, nudie. And I'm like, Izzy, please put your clothes on. And I'm like, this is going to get ugly.
Wow.
And my wife's like, it's cute. And I'm like, yeah, until she's 16, 17, and she's doing that, at the pep rally in high school. We knew that girl.
Nudie.
Yeah. So you got a boy. He's just gonna beat the shit out of you.
He is, huh? It's gonna be rough.
Are you gonna raise a magician?
I don't know. I feel like my dad was a pilot. His dad was a pilot, And the fact that I like knew they were pilots, and they were like, everyone's like, "You gonna be a pilot? Are you gonna be a pilot?" And it was never an option.
But you can levitate. That's
Yeah.
like flying.
I have a lot of. It's like flying. It's like floating.
It's I can levitate. I can. I watched what was the special where
David Blaine?
Where he does this one, you know, with the camera angle. You know what I'm talking about? Off the heel.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Balducci levitation.
Is that what it's called?
Balducci. It was
The
the guy who knew how to
Balducci.
levitate and make great pizza.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
It looks,
The
if you do it
Balducci.
on, so look at me. Wait, Damien will have to look because it doesn't have to be like far away.
Yeah, Damien, will you take the camera outside the bus?
Yeah, it has to be far away, right?
Can this camera get your feet?
This one? It's cut off.
Oh, okay.
Well, oh my
No.
God, he's levitating. It's amazing.
I'm levitating. Hey,
It is amazing.
Look.
There we go. There we go. There we go. That's the opposite of a trapdoor.
One time we were doing the show and Jason came through there, and he hit the
Jason
floor.
who?
Jason's not allowed to
I
talk
thought you
about
don't
him.
talk about this guy.
Yeah. No, I'm not allowed to talk about our relationship, how we know each other. Because every guest always goes, when he's on the show, how'd you two meet? And then we tell the same story over and over.
Is it the truth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and no. Okay, got it. No one wants to hear it anymore.
That's the thing. We've done, so my old show, I did 499 episodes.
Wow.
Then this show we've done.
May I ask why you stopped before the
Anyone could do 500.
half millennial?
Yeah. Anyone could do 500.
Yeah, anyone. I guess so. It takes a true
I just thought it
quitter.
Was,
It takes a true quitter to do $4.99.
$4.99.
Brilliant.
And so then we've been doing. Are we on like 40 right now?
This one when it airs will be 43.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was podcasting back when it was just like Corolla, Marin, Crab Feast, and us. There were like no, there were a bunch, but there weren't many.
Wow. Was
There
Pardo before Marin?
Yeah,
he
Pardo
around?
was a long time ago. Jay Moore had one back then. Kevin Smith had a big one back then. I mean, we're talking, I think 8 years. 8 years ago I started. I think. I can't even remember.
Can you imagine back in the day at the Ha Ha, if someone was like, here's the next big thing.
I never knew this was gonna. Part of me feels like it's like I was paralyzed, but I've learned to live with it. Like,
Are we talking about being a dad still?
yeah, I didn't dream of being a podcaster. It was like when I was growing up, I was like, someday I'm gonna have a school bus.
I'm gonna be a
and we're gonna
dadcaster.
We're gonna be in the.
Do you drive your daughter to preschool in this ever?
The other day, my wife said, it was a Tuesday. We do this Tuesday night. She said, "Can you take Izzy to school?" And I said, "Yeah, but I do another podcast called Wadcast." I go, "I have Wadcast, then I have Bingle show, so I'll have to drop her off in the school bus, in the Bingle bus." And my wife goes, "No," and I go, "It's got seat belts." She goes, "You can't be up there with her in the back." I go, "It's a school bus. She's going to school. I'll take her to school." She goes, "No, not a 3-year-old. They don't ride on school buses." Yeah. She's been in it a lot. She likes to hang out in it all the time. But
She smokes weed in here a lot.
I think she does.
She loves it.
I'm a little
She
worried
loves
about
it.
that too. She's
I keep doing that. Oh, I
she
did it again.
tries. She's like, if somebody's eating something or drink, I want to try. And when I hear that, I'm just like, no. How do we knock that out of her? That I want to try mushrooms. I want to try. I don't want her ever, like, she's very open-minded and very free. And
Yeah, don't let her be open-minded and free.
I know I don't want her trying.
She's an experimenter.
Yes, and I'm very scared of that. I'm very scared.
Has she traveled overseas?
Yeah.
How soon can you take a child under a plane?
I don't know, but we put her in the overhead compartment at one point when she was crying one time. She ruined everybody's trip to Hawaii. We were on our way back from Hawaii, and she threw a tantrum one time that I was like, she just ruined everyone's vacation. Like the honeymoon, people just had the greatest
They're
time
all
of their life.
blissed out.
Yeah, and
Zen.
in 6 hours,
Wow.
she just took that all away from them, and she's usually pretty good.
Remember Dan Mintz, who used to...
Yeah.
I just did a show with Dan in the Comedy Store, and Dan Mintz doesn't do a lot of stand-up anymore.
Dan Mintz is hilarious. Does he's a big producer now?
Yeah, he writes, I think, and produces on Veep
Okay.
and Bob's Burgers. But he had a joke, and he goes, It's really hard to take a baby on an airplane because his parents are right there.
Yeah, he's a great
Dan Mintz, great
comedian. I always loved him. He's a Harvard guy, I think.
He is, yes.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to school in Boston with Dan Levy, Dan Mintz would hang out with us, and BJ Novak as well was at Harvard at the same time. Those smart guys.
Yeah, but he
With
was
those high-paying
I always think
gigs.
Dan Mintz is a very. I mean, everybody. He's a great comic, and people know that. But when I say underrated, I mean the world doesn't know who he is as a comic.
100%.
And they should. He's that
Yes.
good. Like I used to I would watch him and be like, oh fuck, I should quit. This
Like if
guy's
his
so
jokes
good.
are so good, I can hear it once and accurately quote it. Just means that that's the perfect version of that
Yeah.
joke, you know, and that I can. Anyway,
I
he's so funny.
watched a movie or something recently where I saw produced by Dan Mintz, and I wondered if it was him. Something big that I was like, this is awkward. And it wasn't exactly a comedy. I'll have to look and see what.
Were you ever buddies with Daniel Kino?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's he doing?
he's doing great stand up, but he wrote Magic for Humans.
Oh, did he
Yeah,
really?
yeah. I couldn't remember if he was around the same time.
So he Russian parents, right?
Russian parents.
And he works a lot with Todd Glass.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's great. I haven't seen him since I'd seen the Comedy and Magic. Did you ever do that?
I love Comedy Magic.
Do you do it?
Yeah.
That
It's
sucks
been a
that
while.
I've never been there when you're there.
It's the best club.
I'm there all the time.
No
and
offense.
I wish I was there when you
I
were
go
doing it.
long stretches without doing it, and then I'll do it a bunch. But I love that place.
I might be there.
And
this
Mike
weekend.
loves magic. Obviously, there's always
Yeah.
a little bit of magic on that show.
I remember when I first heard about it and I went there, I was like, this is the worst fucking idea I've ever heard of. Like where they just do stand up in the middle of the show, they throw a magician on. And then back to stand up. And then I saw it. And I went, this is the best idea ever. It's such a cool concept once I saw it. And I thought, oh, this is going to not work. And I'm like, I got to see how this goes over.
It makes the stand-up a novelty for a moment, you know, and it makes the variety is the spice of life. Spice of life. And
Spice of lice.
It's the spice of life, and that's what's in their food down there at the Comedy Magic Club.
Wait till you get that. Wait till I just had a friend have it.
Did your daughter have lice?
No, she's never had it, but I've heard a couple friends lately that their kid had the lice, and I was like, oh, that sounds fucking awful.
Can't you just give a kid a pill like the fleas for your dog?
I would just shave their head. I'd be like, hey, your fault.
Hey, here's your new Halloween. You're 11 for Halloween.
Yeah,
And you're lice free.
yeah.
Thank you.
You're gonna play Uncle Fester. You have no hair anymore.
So what's Eddie Ifft's parenting advice for a first-time dad for the first
Best
year?
advice that was given to me: don't listen to anyone else's advice.
Oh God, that means I should listen. Well, what do I do with what you just said?
Yeah, don't listen.
Don't listen to your advice.
Don't listen to
which
my
means
advice. Yeah, it's like when you put two mirrors towards each other.
Oh yeah.
Here's another bit of advice someone gave me. Not advice. Mike Catherwood, Psycho Mike from Kevin and Bean, said, it's the best, worst thing in the world. And it's like, there are going to be moments where you're like, how did this happen? I'm in this, you'll be like holding like a shitty diaper and it's going to be all over you. And the baby's screaming and you're like, you're supposed to be on a conference call and your wife's exhausted and you're going to be like, how the fuck did I just get in this moment? But then your daughter or son will giggle and you'll be like, oh, this was all just washed away. Like all that pain just went away instantly with a little smile.
The shit's still there, but the pain washes
The
away.
shit's still there for like, I was over at a friend's house helping him with a bike to fix his kid's bike, and his little kid's playing next to us, and all of a sudden the dad goes, Did you just tootie? And I'm like, yes, he did a while ago. You didn't smell it? I've been here for 20 minutes smelling that fucking thing.
Tooted.
The kid's shit in his diaper. Or
Tooted is shit in the diaper, not fart.
I think the dad.
Every
called it
dad has a
tootie.
different
Yeah.
lingo.
I call it poopy.
Whew.
Yeah, it's hard, but I don't. Never once do I go, oh, I regret this, or it's amazing. It is really amazing. I never thought I'd be that guy. It became the most important thing in my life, by far. Like, my life revolves around, like, when I get on a plane on Sunday mornings to get home at 5 in the morning, it's because I want to get home to see her. And it's like, I won't sleep all, like, I'm like, I got to get home.
I already hate being away.
Yeah.
So it's going to be,
It's horrible.
Yeah.
There will be a little bit of going away as a relief. Bert Kreischer told
I've heard
me.
that. A hotel to yourself?
Yeah, Bert Kreischer told me, and I always feel sorry for my wife because I get it. So every once in a while, I'll just get her a hotel and be like, go away for 2 days. Go. And you just don't pick up the phone. We'll leave you alone. And my daughter and I'm a kid, so like I just said to her as I was leaving tonight, I go, hey, I'm going to do the show. I said, I'll drive you to school tomorrow. What do you want to do after school? And she goes, Dojo Boom. And I was like, fuck yeah. It's a trampoline park that we go to like at least once a week.
What part of town do you live in?
We live in Malabasas.
Oh, right on. Oh, yeah. Dojo Boom.
Dojo Boom. Yeah, so
I want to do that.
It's amazing. It's got the foam pits and the rock climbing walls, and like kids are like, "Come on, old man, will you get off the shit?" And I'm like, "No, I'm trying my triple Lindy."
And does she not like being driven in the bus, or does she?
I just won't do it. I think it's unsafe. But I say that. Meanwhile, I surf with her. I take her out. Like, I'll take her out to not head high, about not even shoulder high, like waist high.
Little board?
No, I'll take her on a big foamy, and then I ride in and I get to my knees, and then I pick her up so she's standing. I have a little board for her, and out like where it just crumbles because I don't want her getting douched yet. Like, it's like if she gets, she'll never want to surf again. She skis, she skateboards, she rides horses.
She's 3.5.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Shit.
People are like, you gotta want to calm down with that.
Wow.
Jiu-jitsu. No, I'm joking. I started on a skateboard first.